What's up YouTube? It's Alex Combow here, owner, CEO, and graphic designer of Snowbound Apothecary. Today, I got a video for you guys about my one favorite letter in the entire alphabet repeated twice. That's right, today I'm talking about R and R time. I'm talking about rest and relaxation. So stay tuned because this video is going to tell you a lot of things that you didn't know about why you're feeling burnt out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I've only got 2 points for you guys today, and it's still going to be a pretty lengthy video because there's a lot that I want to say. First of all, rest and relaxation is hyper important. If you're not taking time for yourself, then you are not building upon your own character. If you feel burnt out, you're going to be wasting time producing low quality work. Low quality work you can't take back. You can try to take it back, but you can't take it back. If you send out an email that is not a good email, you cannot just pull that email back. It doesn't work that way. That email is out there for good. You can resend an email to someone else that says, this is what I meant to say, but that's not quite as professional. If you send a certain quality product to your customer, and your customer receives the product, you cannot take that back. Even if you just ship the package of the quality product that is not high, then you cannot take that shipment back. That shipment is out there. It's done, it's gone, it's good. What I want to talk to you guys about today is how many hours are there in a week? Well, there's 24 hours a day, there's 7 days a week. 24 times 7 is 168. There are 168 hours a week. I'm a firm believer that you should work 80 hours a week. You should work 40 hours a week for your main business, for your day job, and 40 hours a week for your side business, or your own personal business, your own personal goals and dreams. And if you have your own business, you should work 80 hours a week for that business to just kind of balance that out. I think 80 hours is the perfect medium amount of time that you should work, and here is why. If you are sleeping for 8 hours a night and working for 80 hours a week, you have 22 hours a week that you can spend relaxing. Personally, myself, I sleep 6 hours a night, most nights, except for Saturdays. I like to sleep 8 hours a night on Saturdays. Those are my sleeping days. That 6 hours that I sleep, minus the 2 hours from Saturdays, gives me 34 hours a week that I can spend relaxing. The mind doesn't want to do this. The mind is constantly saying, I want to be working, I want to be working, I want to be working, I want to get this done, I have to get this done, I need to get this done. But that is not what you need to be doing. If you have that time to relax, you need to spend that time to relax. Spend it working on your hobbies, spend it maybe watching movies, playing video games, watching Netflix, watching YouTube, doing something that really isn't that productive. Because you need to spend that time to recharge your batteries. If your batteries go dead and you don't fully recharge them, then you are not going to be at 100%. And that is that. If you do not spend your time every week recharging, then when push comes to shove, you're not going to be at your 100%. Some days that means you need to sleep a little extra, and that's your recharge time. Some days that means you need to not sleep as much and maybe watch a couple movies, go on a binge spree. And that's fine. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But let me just argue a point with you guys. If you're spending that time drinking or doing drugs, then your recharge time is increased. Okay, if you get drunk the night before, then you are going to have to recharge from all of that energy that your body just outputted to digest the alcohol that you just consumed and to let it out. All that energy is going to be coming back to you. Whether you get hangovers or not, your body is going to be in a hangover state and you're not going to be at 100% the next day, even if you spent the normal amount of time relaxing. And this goes for weekends, this goes for weekdays. I think you should not get drunk ever. Maybe you can have a couple beers here or there, that's okay. If you can handle that. If you can't handle that, you need to notice that and say, okay, here's what's going on. My body is not being fully recharged when I have a couple of beers. I wake up the next morning more groggy than I would if I didn't drink, and I'm not fully focused when I get to work. My mind isn't fully there when I'm conversating with people. I'm not as sharp, I can't think as quick. You need to notice these things, because if you don't notice these things, then you're going to look at everything going on and just think, oh, I just got the blues today. Today is not a productive day. But what you forget to realize is that you spent the night before drinking. Drinking is not the best thing to do with your relaxation time. That's what I'm trying to say. So with your relaxation time, there are 3 things that I like to argue that you should do. Family time. Family time is great, but not everybody gets recharged from family time. So maybe you want to block a certain amount of time a week for family time. Hobby time. You want to spend time developing the hobbies that you want to work on that aren't even business related at all. Because this sharpens your mind for business and actually helps you get better with business. Okay? And third point is mindless time. You are spending 80 hours a week being fully present, if you're doing it right, being fully present in your job. You need to spend a couple hours a week being a little mindless, because being present is tiresome for every part of your mental state. It's okay to spend some time being mindless and not really thinking about anything. In fact, sometimes not thinking about anything is being more present than being at work and thinking about all of your problems that you have going on at work at the present moment. Okay? You could be thinking about the problems going on at work at the present moment, right? And you're stressed out about the present moment. That's still being present. That's still being mindful of what's going on. Okay? But sometimes you need to be present in the moment mindlessly. Okay? There is a difference there between the 2 different types of presences. So don't get those confused. Some people do, some people don't, but that's kind of the point that I'm arguing with you here. Everybody is different about what recharges them. Some people are introverts and some people are extroverts. The introverts may like to stay in and watch movies. They may like to spend personal time to themselves and kind of like block off maybe like 10 hours a week for their family and then maybe like a couple hours a week for themselves. And extroverts maybe more lean towards going out. And so they'll want to go out to the park, they'll want to go out to eat, maybe go out to the mall, go out shopping with their family. They don't have to buy anything, but they can go out and look, just kind of get an idea and push their goals more into their mind. Be like, when I have money, this is kind of the things that I'm going to be looking at doing. There are several different types of people, and you don't want to be hypercritical of the way that you relax. For the longest time, I personally was hypercritical of the fact that I like to play video games. This is not a bad thing, okay? Everybody relaxes a different way. There are people that read, there are people that play video games, there are people that watch YouTube, Netflix, there are people that just like to be on their phone all day. Any way that you relax really is not a bad way as long as it's not drinking or doing drugs, like I said before. So if you are just kind of sitting there and not really doing anything, you're recharging your batteries. Sometimes, though, it's better to recharge your batteries through sleep, and sometimes it's better to recharge your batteries through your hobbies or your relaxation. You need to kind of feel yourself and see what you internally want more each week. This week you could want to sleep 8 hours a night, and this week you could want to spend more time on your hobbies to relax. Just because you don't sleep 8 hours a night does not mean that you won't be at 100% the next day. And my second point to this video goes kind of along with that, in that if you want to relax fully, you have to realize that work comes in stages. People say all the time, give it 110%. I don't like this. As a human, we can only give it 100%. There's a reason why it's 100%. And let's look at something really quickly. Do you think that Michael Jordan and Babe Ruth, just 2 famous examples, do you think that they gave it 100% when they were first learning how to do things? Do you? Because I don't. I think when they were first learning how to do things, maybe they spent 70% of their time learning baseball. Maybe they spent 70% of their time learning basketball. Maybe they did spend 100% of their time learning baseball or basketball, but then they got burnt out. See, if you get burnt out, this is where the problem arises. If you spend 100% of your time doing this all at once, 100% of your energy and effort doing all of this at once, what happens is you get burnt out, which means that for the next few days, you're only going to be giving it maybe 50 or 60%, which is lower than it would be if you were to give it 80% every single day consistently. So, do not start out by giving it your all the time, or you're going to get burnt out. And your mind is just going to feel stressed out, and your relaxation time is not going to feel the same, because you won't really fully be able to detach from thinking about the problems that you have at work or thinking about what's going on. And when you relax, you want to detach from everything and just kind of forget about everything and just relax. Spend 100% of your focus on relaxing. And this is a lot easier to do than spending 100% of your focus on work. Relaxation, I mean, it's not easy for everybody, but relaxation is kind of a guilty pleasure for some people. Some people feel like they shouldn't enjoy it, but in reality, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we all need to spend time to ourselves. The thing is, you've heard the phrase before, you only live once. You do only live once. And if you spend all of your time working, then you're going to be like Steve Jobs, who said at the end of his life, if I could go back and change one thing, I would spend more time with my family. You will end up like that. While yes, you'll be successful, but you won't really enjoy your success. So if you have success, you kind of want to enjoy it. You want to work hard towards maintaining it, and you don't want to spend it all away, obviously, but you do want to enjoy it. And you want to kind of live in the moment. But if you flip that and go to the other side of things, then you have the people that relax too much and they don't do anything. Like I said, I'm a firm believer of the 80-hour work week. I think everybody should work 80 hours, where during those 80 hours, all they think about is work. They don't think about anything else going on, and that's why relaxation is important. Now, some people spend maybe 25, 40 hours a week working, and that's it. And the rest of their time they spend relaxing. And see, the thing about it is actually a little bit ironic. Some people feel like they're not fulfilled because they spend too much time at work, and some people feel like they're not fulfilled because they spend too much time relaxing. So what you want to do is you want to find that perfect balance. I can't tell you what that balance is because everybody's different. Maybe you're the type of person that likes to work 112 hours every week, 16-hour shifts every single day. Maybe you're that type of person, and maybe that's what fulfills you the most. Or maybe you're the type of person that wants to only work 60 hours a week and you can't really get out of that. I don't want to judge you for doing that. I think that the general line that people should follow is 80 hours a week. I think that's the general line. That's not the hardest thing to do. It's a little challenging at first, but it's not the hardest thing to do. And I think that that is kind of the base point of where you want to start. If you look at the 80 hours a week and you say, this doesn't work for me, that's great. You can reduce it, you can increase it, do whatever you want to do, but give it a try. And it may be best for you to start with 60 or 70 hours a week, and then slowly boost yourself up to 80 hours a week, and that makes you feel better, but try to get to that baseline of 80 hours a week. And don't try to overdo it too fast or you will feel burnt out. I feel like the point that I need to hammer in this video, and I know I've said it several times, is there is nothing wrong with relaxing. There's nothing wrong with it. Spend time to yourself. You're going to be with yourself for a long time, but it also is going to be a short time in comparison to the entire universe as a whole. So to you, it feels like a long time. So make this long time that you have with yourself feel like you're doing what you want to be doing. And make this short time that you have in the universe count at the same time. So feel fulfilled in the long time that you have with yourself, and leave your legacy for the short time that you have with the universe. And that's why I think that you should spend time relaxing, especially if you're just kind of figuring out your mode and just kind of getting started. You want to find that relaxation time. So let's kind of talk about timelines here. If you want to relax for 22 hours a week, if that's what you want to do, let's kind of figure this out, okay? You got family time and you've got relaxation time. It's not always the same for everybody. In fact, most people, it is actually kind of different. So maybe you want to spend 10 hours with your family and you want to spend 12 hours relaxing. So there are a couple of different ways that you can break this up. You could either spend 11 hours on each weekend relaxing, or you could spend a little bit of time every single night relaxing. So kind of what I like to do is I like to work every day from about 9 in the morning till about midnight, taking off an hour for lunch and an hour for dinner. With an hour lunch and an hour for dinner, that's a 13-hour day. So I work 5 hours on my side business and 8 hours on my regular business on the weekdays. On the weekdays, I take those 5 hours for those 5 days a week, and that's 25 hours right there. The weekends, I like to split it up. Cindy and I, my girlfriend and I, we have a kind of agreement in place that we spend more time together on Sundays. So Sundays are kind of like my bonus time. So since I still have 15 hours, sometimes I'll spend those 12 hours on Saturday and leave 3 hours for Sunday of work to do. And then sometimes, even on Sundays, if she works, what I'll do is I'll actually do some work for the following week. I'll get some of that work done so that I can spend more time with Sydney the week after if the time doesn't work out that way. So it's okay, you can make these sort of deals with yourself. You can kind of work it out as long as you basically take around the same amount of time every week and you kind of feel it out. You pay attention to the little signs of what you're doing mentally. If you're starting to find that you're taking up a habit drinking, maybe you should spend a little bit more time relaxing, doing things that you want to do. If you're starting to be a little bit snappy, maybe you should spend a little more time relaxing, although at that point, maybe you're getting a little bit further than you need to be with relaxing. But that's why these type of things are important to kind of keep in mind and to look for. So find out your time that you want to spend each week. If you want to sleep 6 hours a night, sleep 6 hours a night. Spend those extra 2 hours relaxing at the evening, kind of winding down with yourself and with your family. And that's okay. It's always okay to relax if you're not relaxing too much. So don't be harsh on yourself if you think that you're working 80 hours a week and you're relaxing 22 hours, but you are not doing everything that you need to be doing. Don't be too hard on yourself. And when you're working, don't overdo your working time by giving 100% before you're ready to give 100%. That's kind of the summary of the video. If you need to do certain things, split them out between the days and kind of go up to 100% over time. Be consistent with your work output and you'll find that over time your consistency can improve from 80% to 81 to 82 to 83 to 84. Before you know it, you're giving 95% of your effort every day on your job. And whereas before you could not do all of this, you couldn't keep track of everybody that's following you, send them all personalized messages every time they follow you, tell them to check out your YouTube channel, record all of this in your logbook. You couldn't record all of your expenses at the same time. But you find that as you spend less time, more time consistently being at 80%, then you start to build up a sort of tolerance to that percentage and you can gradually increase it up. So that's what I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys got quite a bit out of this video. It really comes a little bit personally to me. So I sincerely hope that you guys did get a lot out of this video. If you did, please comment down below. Please like the video. Please hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys on Thursday. Bye.